Why do they want to overthrow everything? Why do they want to screw everything up? They're deviants, ladies and gentlemen. They're in control. They live in the $50 million penthouses. They fly in the $75 million private jets. They have all the mistresses they could ever want. They run the show. And the globalists would put Obama in to stir up a radical Muslim revolution, to kill every Muslim that isn't going along with it, and kill every Christian, every Jew, every agnostic, destroy free speech. And I watched Fox and CNN, and they've got Alan Combs and others on there saying there's no such thing as radical Islam, and you shouldn't be able to criticize it. And now people are following the orders and not saying radical Islam. It's like you couldn't say illegal immigrant, then you couldn't say immigrant. Now you've got to call them migrants. We just sit here and are told how to talk and told how to live. It's a sick joke. I'm going to shut up and go to your calls. Brian in Florida, you're a vet. What is your take on why people are so upset with Obama and the military?
Oh, hey, Alex. I retired from the Army a year and a half ago. My wife's still in, so, I mean, I have to kind of parse my comments here. But when all this don't ask, don't tell was getting, no one really cared, honestly. And when they said, okay, you can be gay in the military, everyone was like, shrugged their shoulders, hey, whatever, that's just the way it is. That's not really it. The big thing is with as Obama's the constant, he says he's going to get out of Iraq and Afghanistan. Okay, we kind of are, but we really aren't now. And so the problem is that a lot of my friends who went to Afghanistan or Iraq, they're kind of irritated that the fact that we just left. We pretty much we started a house fire and then left, and then we're a little surprised that the house fire is still going on. I mean, yeah, we shouldn't have been over there, granted, but the problem is that we should have I don't know, unscrewed, I guess, our problem, but we didn't do that.
Well, that's it. The frustration is you were sent in to destabilize the area, not bring peace, and the military now knows that, and you're being put into more and more deployments, less and less pay. I mean, is that not another big part of the morale problem?
Yeah. Honestly, it's the I guess the paperwork, if you will, the red tape. If you want anything done, it's a disaster. Like for instance, you got a pay problem. It takes pretty much half the day to take care of it. Let's say the Army does a poll and the suicide rate goes up, I don't know, 10%. Then there's classes all week about how not to kill yourself. I mean, it's just you do more paperwork and more stuff to, I guess, if you will, to satisfy the TPS reports. Getting from that.
Sure,
movie,
and that's all designed to sabotage the military ahead of the conversion to pure autonomous robots. And by the way, that's official. So I just hope the military knows this is all sabotage on purpose. God bless you. Because again, just as they use our military to enforce the empire, they hate you. The globalists hate you because you have courage. They hate humanity being strong. And they hate the male. They hate the role model. They hate the warrior. Because the globalists are the rat, scum, slimebag spiders of the universe. And so they fear you. They want armies of robots and drones that will carry out their bidding to basically enforce a global government, enforce forced inoculation, and population reduction. That's the end game. Let's go ahead and go to Howard in Pennsylvania. You're an Air Force vet. The military I talked to are upset with Obama over his domestic secret operations, preparations for martial law, putting our military under UN, NATO command, opening the borders, things like that. Why do you think the military is so upset with Obama?
Well, I think they're intelligent enough to realize that it's obvious he's leaving a fifth column into this country. And we're all going to be in big trouble because who do you shoot at?
Well, that's right. He's infiltrating the government with just all sorts of communist, socialist, radical Islamicists who are then going to stage attacks and blame it on us. I mean, you just know it. They've been caught doing that before.
Well, the thing with me is, I'm a Vietnam veteran, and I was privy to some things that most people aren't aware of. And one of the things that made me quit was when I found out that the French and Canadians were in Haiphong Harbor, and that's why I never got mined. I mean, the way you fight a war is you cut off the enemy supply line. We never did that. It's just big business. And
that's right. The war was a big, bottomless, no-bid contract, meat grinder, to feed you into it, never meaning to defeat the North.
No, there was no intention of ever doing it. And that's exactly what's still going on today. And it's the thing is, the soldier is in a position where it takes a supreme act of bravery in order to say, no, I quit. You're crazy.
Well, that's right, and that's what it comes down to. The war on drugs, the war on terror, the war in Vietnam, this al-Qaeda thing. Al-Qaeda was beaten, so they give them a new base, and now they're worse than ever and call them ISIS. I mean, it's so clear what they've done.
Oh, yeah, that's obvious, but the American people, unfortunately, are not going to, as long as there's bread and circuses, they're not going to wake up to what's going on until somebody's knocking on their door.
And that's why they hate the military, because they know the military knows the names and the groups when the general public doesn't know. The system fears informed men and women. The military is informed. That's why they're the enemy of the globalist. We'll be back. In just a moment, we're going to go to Steve in Texas, active duty Marine. There's a Military Times report out that did a poll showing that only 15% approve of the president. Well, look, when the president is engaged in tyranny, it's okay to speak out against him. I mean, when he told Fort Hood soldiers through a memo 2 years ago, you will not be an evangelical and you will not join the Tea Party or we'll court-martial you, Fox News asked, is that okay? Is that okay? I mean, that is a crazy, crazy, crazy statement. No, it's not okay to tell troops what religion they can be or that they could be court-martialed. I mean, that actually happened. That's like the Soviet Union on steroids. So at a certain point, you've got to say no. And the military is awake because they're getting all this training. In fact, let's just go to Steve right now, active duty Marine. Why do you think the military is so upset with Obama?
Well, I'm going to say over the past 2.5 years in Afghanistan, the CIA has been directing a lot of special operators, and in my case, recon, the recon battalions to clean up loose ends in Afghanistan, those people that had knowledge of the drug trade, of what the CIA was doing. And there were several, and when I say high-ranking, I mean, you know, the Marine Corps, our high-ranking officers are usually colonels because we're not as large as the Army. There were 3 general court-martials in the last year of a lieutenant colonel, a battalion commander, and a couple of different company commanders, captains, majors, etc., for failing to follow the orders to go into the villages and schwack these guys that were working with the CIA. The charges on the colonel were reduced to conduct on becoming an officer and failure to obey a direct order, but he was charged with mutiny. And it's been quiet because the people I know in the States, when I've called, I've asked them, hey, have you guys heard anything about the general court-martials going on at Hanson? Camp Hanson in Okinawa is the headquarters of 3rd Marine Division. So you've got a lot of that. And so 3rd Division, I rotated back about 6 weeks ago, and there was a division order in 3rd Division not to have any political conversation in work areas having anything to do with the commander-in-chief, period.
So just don't have talk, period. Just do what the Fuhrer says.
Do not speak the president's name. And he's not referred to as Barack Obama or President Obama. In all the memos coming down from 3rd MarDiv, there no conversation, no political conversation involving the commander-in-chief.
So that is beyond Orwellian. You are not even to say his name. He's so godlike.
Well, the reason that in the memos that they use commander-in-chief is to emphasize that he's in our chain of command.
No, I understand.
And so therefore, yeah, if you violate that memo coming down from a division, then they can bring you up on charges because of it's the doublespeak referring to him as the commander-in-chief instead of as the president. Sure,
I understand. So this is some heavy info. We got to go to break, but hold over if you can. I want to finish up with you ahead of Dr. Paul Craig Roberts joining us. You're saying, and this is the intel I've got, it's the same thing, that the drug dealing, the DEA, all the stuff going on, the military speaking out, they're not following orders to work with terrorist groups because Obama's in a major alliance with them now, and so they're court-martialing and firing officers at a record rate, and you're saying that's why morale's so low?
Absolutely, but there's more.
There's more. Stay there. Stay there. I want to hear the more. Folks, the military knows we have an imposter in the White House.
Visit GCNlive.com today.
We're in so much trouble, folks. InfoWarsLife.com. Check it out today. I have set out to bring you the most hardcore, cutting-edge supplements and nutraceuticals, bar none. And that's what you'll find at InfoWarsLife.com. We have rejected literally hundreds of products from the InfoWars Life line because they are not of the very highest quality, or because they're not 100% organic, or because they don't pass all of the strictest toxicology tests there are that we have listed at InfoWarsLife.com. Whether it's Survival Shield Nascent Iodine, or DNA Force, Super Male Vitality, Super Female Vitality, Lung Cleanse, Fluoride Shield, Oxy Powder. I believe that all of these products will blow you away like they've done the thousands of other customers that have visited InfoWarsLife.com and believed in us and tried the products. Folks, check out InfoWarsLife.com today and the entire line of groundbreaking, cutting-edge, hardcore products.
You're listening